My fascination with the dark web began as a casual exploration of the hidden corners of the internet. It was a realm shrouded in mystery and danger, where anonymity offered a glimpse into the forbidden. What started as innocent curiosity soon spiraled into a nightmarish descent into a digital abyss, forever altering the course of my life. I had heard whispers of the Whispering Gallery on forums and cryptic websites, a place where secrets whispered in hushed tones held the power to change one's destiny. The more I delved into these rumors, the more obsessed I became with the idea of uncovering its enigmatic truths. One fateful night, after weeks of persistent searching, I received an anonymous message on the dark web. It contained an invitation to the Whispering Gallery. The instructions were clear: visit a specific URL at precisely midnight, and I would be granted access. With a mixture of excitement and apprehension, I awaited the appointed hour. At the stroke of midnight, I clicked the link, and the digital world around me faded to black. When the darkness cleared, I found myself in a virtual realm, an eerie gallery filled with endless whispers. The gallery was a labyrinth of ornate mirrors, each one reflecting a different scene: a deserted street, an abandoned mansion, a shadowy forest. I was drawn to one mirror in particular, a reflection of a derelict mansion, its windows aglow with an eerie pale light. A single message appeared on the screen: "Whisper your desire." Compelled by an unexplainable force, I whispered my most coveted wish: an escape from the mundane, a life filled with adventure and excitement. In an instant, the mirror's surface rippled, and I was transported into the very scene it had depicted. I stood outside the mansion, its imposing facade exuding a sense of foreboding. Moonlight bathed the surroundings in a pale, ethereal glow, casting long shadows that danced eerily on the cobblestone path. As I hesitantly approached the mansion's entrance, I realized that this was no ordinary place. The door creaked open of its own accord, and I stepped into a grand foyer adorned with dusty chandeliers and faded tapestries. The mansion seemed frozen in time, a relic of a bygone era. A chill coursed through me as I realized that I was not alone. The whispers began, soft, barely audible, like the rustling of leaves in the wind. They seemed to emanate from the very walls, the floor beneath my feet, and the air itself. Unintelligible at first, the voices grew louder and more insistent. I explored room after room, each one revealing a scene from my deepest desires, a life of thrill and adventure. But the whispers continued, growing more menacing, as if they were trying to tell me something, to warn me of the price I would pay. As I ventured deeper into the mansion, I encountered a room unlike the others. It was a study filled with books, each one covered in dust and cobwebs. One book stood out, an ancient tome bound in leather and adorned with cryptic symbols. The whispers converged on the book, urging me to open it. The moment I touched the book's cover, a searing pain shot through my hand. The pages came to life, revealing a sinister story, a tale of a cursed mansion, where the desires of those who entered were fulfilled at a terrible cost. The mansion fed on the souls of its visitors, imprisoning them in a never-ending cycle of desire and despair. I knew I had to escape, but the mansion had other plans. It shifted and twisted, its corridors rearranging themselves to trap me. The whispers grew louder, their voices now a cacophony of anguish and torment. Hours turned into days as I navigated the ever-changing maze of the mansion, desperate to break free from its grip. The voices continued to taunt me, promising salvation one moment and damnation the next. I could feel the darkness closing in, threatening to consume me. In a final act of desperation, I shattered the cursed mirror that had brought me into this nightmare. The mansion crumbled around me, its illusion shattered, and I found myself back in the Whispering Gallery. But the voices, the whispers, followed me. They had become a part of me, a constant reminder of the price I had paid for my reckless curiosity. The dark web had promised secrets, but it had delivered a nightmare that would haunt me for the rest of my days. As I disconnected from the dark web, I knew that I could never truly escape the whispers that now lived within me. They whispered of a life forever changed, of the horrors of the Whispering Gallery that would forever linger in the shadows of my mind. It started on a moonless night when the world outside was shrouded in darkness. With the aid of the Tor browser, I navigated the labyrinthine depths of the dark web. The allure of the forbidden beckoned, and I couldn't resist the temptation to explore. As I delved deeper into this digital underworld, I stumbled upon a peculiar website, an invitation-only forum known as the Cryptic Invitation. The rumors surrounding this enigmatic community spoke of exclusive access to a hidden world of secrets, where the darkest and most disturbing knowledge was shared among its select members. Intrigued and driven by a thirst for the unknown, I pursued membership. The vetting process was cryptic, involving the completion of a series of puzzles and riddles that tested the limits of my intellect. After weeks of grueling challenges, I was granted entry into the inner sanctum of the Cryptic Invitation. The forum's threads were a bewildering maze of codes, cryptograms, and riddles, each more baffling than the last. It was in one such thread that I stumbled upon an invitation, a cryptic message that hinted at an exclusive event taking place at an undisclosed location. The message read, "Join us for a night of revelation and transformation. Location, tonight, 11:45 p.m., coordinates attached." The coordinates pointed to a remote, desolate area in the woods, shrouded in an eerie silence that sent chills down my spine. Curiosity once again overcame reason, and I found myself on the way to the coordinates that very night. The drive was harrowing, the narrow, winding roads leading to a place that felt far removed from civilization. The darkness of the forest loomed ominously, and the only illumination came from my car's headlights. As I approached the coordinates, I noticed a small, dilapidated cabin nestled deep within the woods. It was as if the world had forgotten this place. I parked my car and cautiously approached the cabin, my heart pounding with a mixture of trepidation and anticipation. The cabin's wooden door creaked ominously as I pushed it open, revealing an interior bathed in dim candlelight. A group of hooded figures stood in a circle, their faces obscured by shadows. At the center of the circle was a large, ornate mirror that seemed to radiate an otherworldly aura. I hesitated for a moment, but was quickly drawn into the circle by an unseen force. The figures began to chant in a language I could not comprehend, their voices low and haunting. The room grew colder, and I could feel a presence, a malevolent, ancient force emanating from the mirror. As the chant continued, the mirror's surface began to ripple and distort, revealing glimpses of nightmarish landscapes and grotesque creatures. Panic surged through me, but I was paralyzed, unable to break free from the circle's hold. With a deafening crescendo, the mirror shattered, sending shards of glass in all directions. The figures fell silent, their hooded heads turning in unison to face me. Their eyes glowed with an otherworldly light, and I realized with terror that I had become part of a ritual beyond my comprehension. Suddenly, I was yanked forward, drawn into the shattered mirror as if by an invisible force. The world around me twisted and contorted, and I found myself in a realm of absolute darkness, a nightmarish void devoid of light, sound, or reason. I was not alone in this abyss. Monstrous entities, their forms indescribable, surrounded me. They whispered incomprehensible words, their voices echoing in my mind. I could feel their malevolent presence, their hunger for something I could not fathom. In that suffocating darkness, I glimpsed the true nature of the Cryptic Invitation. It was not a mere online forum, but a gateway to a realm of horrors beyond imagination, a dimension where the boundaries of reality and nightmare blurred into obscurity. I struggled to break free from this nightmare, to claw my way back to the world I knew, but the entities held me in their grip. Time lost all meaning as I descended further into the abyss, my sanity slipping away. As suddenly as it had begun, the nightmare ended. I found myself back in the cabin, the hooded figures gone, the shattered mirror whole once more. The candlelight was now warm and inviting, as if nothing had transpired. I fled from the cabin, my heart racing, my mind shattered by the horrors I had witnessed. The dark web had promised the unknown, but it had delivered a nightmare that defied comprehension. The Cryptic Invitation had forever scarred my soul, a constant reminder of the price I had paid for my insatiable curiosity. My descent into the abyss began with the installation of the Tor browser, a gateway to the darkest corners of the digital underworld. I was drawn to the promise of secrets, to the allure of the unknown. As I navigated the twisted passages of the dark web, I stumbled upon a thread that would change my life forever. An offer that seemed too intriguing to pass up. The thread was titled, simply, "The Cursed Connection," and its cryptic description hinted at a rare opportunity to experience something that defied explanation. There were no details, no instructions, only a single email address to contact for more information. My curiosity got the better of me, and I sent an email to the provided address. Within hours, a response arrived, a brief message with a chilling warning. Once you embark on this journey, there is no turning back. It was an ominous promise that sent a shiver down my spine, but I was undeterred. I yearned to uncover the mysteries of the dark web, to peel back the layers of secrecy that concealed its darkest secrets. The reply contained an invitation to a remote location, an abandoned asylum nestled deep within a desolate forest. The instructions were simple. Arrive at the asylum at midnight and follow the path marked by red candles. No further details were provided. The night of the appointed meeting arrived, and I found myself on a lonely road that led to the abandoned asylum. The air was thick with an eerie silence, and the moon cast long, ominous shadows across the path. I hesitated for a moment, questioning the wisdom of my decision, but the lure of the unknown was too powerful to resist. I followed the trail of red candles, their flickering flames illuminating a path that seemed to lead deeper into the heart of darkness. The asylum loomed before me, a foreboding structure that exuded an aura of malevolence. The door creaked open with a ghostly moan as I entered, and I was greeted by a scene that sent a shiver down my spine. A circle of hooded figures stood in the center of the asylum's dilapidated hall, their faces obscured by shadow. The air grew heavy with a sense of impending doom, as they chanted in a language I could not comprehend. I watched in trepidation as they raised their hands, their voices growing louder and more insistent. As the ritual reached its climax, the ground beneath me trembled, and the walls of the asylum seemed to close in. I was paralyzed, unable to move or look away. A blinding flash of light engulfed me, and I felt myself being pulled into a nightmarish realm where the laws of reality no longer applied. In that realm, I witnessed horrors beyond imagination, twisted landscapes of torment, grotesque creatures that defied description, and a suffocating darkness that threatened to consume me. The figures around me transformed into monstrous entities, their eyes gleaming with malevolence. Desperation clawed at me as I fought to escape, to break free from the nightmare that had ensnared me. I could hear their whispers in my mind, a chorus of voices that spoke of suffering and despair. I was trapped in a waking nightmare, a realm of eternal torment. Just as I thought all hope was lost, I felt a surge of determination. With every ounce of my willpower, I tore myself from the nightmare and back into the asylum. The figures around me screamed in anguish as their realm collapsed, and the asylum's walls shook with a deafening roar. I fled from the asylum, my heart pounding, my mind shattered by the horrors I had witnessed. The dark web had promised the unknown, but it had delivered a nightmare beyond comprehension. The cursed connection had forever scarred my soul, a constant reminder of the price I had paid for my insatiable curiosity. As I emerged from the forest and back into the world of the living, I knew that I could never truly escape the darkness that had touched me. The horrors of the dark web would haunt me for the rest of my days, a constant reminder that some secrets should remain buried in the depths of the digital abyss. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe.